Right now, we're looking at Unit 2. This unit looks at the influence of media on our perception and attitudes towards love, sex, and relationships. In order to maintain a healthy worldview, we need to exercise wise discernment over our media exposure. Consider these. Is the media dictating or controlling your life? How many hours do you spend consuming the media? According to the stats we found, the global average is almost 7 hours. And in Asia, which includes Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, we exceed that average. The next thing to consider, is the media dictating or controlling our values through the programs we watch or through the music that we listen to that normalizes risky behavior by depicting them as strong, courageous, a rite of passage into adulthood? Are these depictions even true? Research tells us that only 4% of women are fully satisfied with their bodies. Where did we get these standards of beauty and body image from? And lastly, is the media dictating or controlling our view of relationships? Has it changed us socially? Are we still the same online versus offline? Has sexualized media changed our perception of other people and relationships? We are increasingly connected. But why are there still reports of increased feelings of loneliness in our society? Media powerhouses know, as long as they can evoke an emotional response in us, we will continue to tune into what they have to say. So they make us laugh, they make us cry, they even highlight social injustice to touch our heartstrings. All of these just to keep our attention for as long as they can, because they know the result of our continuous exposure to the messages that they have to say, eventually our intellect, our perception, our attitudes towards what is right, what is wrong, our belief system, our ethics will subtly be influenced. We are responsible for the growth and development of our human person components. Now that we know the media is out there to move us emotionally, to influence our intellect and our ethics, to dictate what we do physically, we need to start questioning the messages that they're telling us. We need to start considering how much time are we spending being exposed to the media. Think and filter through everything that they say so that we can regain control over our life, values, and relationships.
Now let's talk about pornography. What is pornography? And do we really understand how it negatively affects us in our relationships? To illustrate, I have here a container filled with water. What do you think will happen if I start dropping stones inside the container? Let's see. As we can see, water started to overflow and spill out of the container. The stones represent pornographic images, the container, our mind, and the cleaned water, our pure perception of relationships. Just as the stones sink to the bottom and cause some water to be displaced, pornographic images stick in our mind and cause us to lose a little bit of our innocence in relating to the opposite sex. Each stone causes a little more water to be spilled, just like each pornographic image causes us to lose a little more purity in our perception. Notice also that even if we stop putting stones, the stones inside the container do not magically disappear. Pornographic images have the power to stick, and they cannot be erased from the mind easily. And neither will our innocence be returned, just as spilled water doesn't find its way back to the container. Unfortunately, pornography causes our perception of relationships to change, and the images stay in our memories, affecting even our future relationships. What may seem like a personal choice that we think doesn't involve anyone can seriously hurt another person. For those who are dealing with addiction to pornography, know that you don't have to hide and keep it to yourself. It is wise to take active steps to break out of the addiction no matter how serious it is. In dealing with addiction to pornography, we suggest these 3 A's. The first A is accountability. Take practical steps to stop the behavior from progressing. This may include using an internet filtering system or simply placing your computer in a public space such as your living room instead of in your bedroom where you can easily be tempted when no one is looking. Be accountable to a close friend or a trusted adult who can encourage you to avoid all forms of pornography and check up on you from time to time. The second A is outward. For us to overcome this bad habit, we need to have a transformation in the different aspects of ourselves, as all these are intertwined. When it comes to our physical bodies, recognize your weaknesses. Do you find yourself looking at porn when you are exhausted or even hungry? Then implement good eating and sleeping habits for yourself. When it comes to our mind, be careful with your thoughts and dwell only on what is good, kind, and dignified. When it comes to our emotions, we need also to learn how to deal with sadness and frustration in a productive way, as these negative feelings are a part of our life. For example, having good friends around us can help us better deal with the issues that get us down. Our beliefs also affect how we address this habit. What we believe will benefit us will influence how we view and value relationships. The third and last A is admit. If you find yourself having trouble stopping this behavior, even though you want to, be brave enough to get help. You may risk losing your reputation, but addiction is not something to take lightly. Talk to a parent or a professional counselor. Opening up to attention and care from trusted people will help break the shame and secrecy of the addiction cycle. Isolating yourself will only fuel the addiction. Find the courage to get help. You can live free from this habit and the control it has over you. As we wrap up Unit 2, we saw how the media has the ability to influence our life, values, and even our relationships. But when it comes to the media, the question really is, who is pushing the cart? Are you the one in the cart, or are you the one pushing the cart? When we are passive recipients of the media, we allow the messages into our mind without stopping to think about what they are or how to respond. For example, after a long day in school, we often just want to come home and watch television. And so we sit there and let the TV talk at us without even thinking about its messages and how it is affecting our own perspective and beliefs. On the other hand, being an active viewer starts with understanding how the media influences us and being able to distinguish the good messages from the bad ones. You start to notice the assumptions an advertisement makes and decide also whether the facts presented are actually just opinions and not real facts. Media is not all bad, but the question is, who is pushing the cart? And I hope that we will all choose to have control over what messages we allow into our life.